where we're at here, we're on a very large waterway here in north central Pennsylvania. It's pretty chilly today, but a lot of ice floating down the Susquehanna River. And we're here where a tributary runs in. There's beaver sign all the way up and down along here. I've had 2 scent mounds in here for about 4 or 5 days now. And the first night, the trap was off. I don't think I pinched the beaver, but what I think I got him under the underfoot, and I may have educated him. So those 2 sets are down around this turn, and I see some cutting in here in the little back eddies here the last 3 or 4 nights. So I know they're coming in here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a set where no lure, no scent mound, and I'm gonna use bait only. Call this a bait set. This is a set that we've taken a lot of beaver in over the years when we've felt that they were maybe trap or lure shy. We've used a bait set and we have a good success with that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you the construction of that, and we'll go from there. First, I'm gonna get all my materials together, my drowning bag, my wire, my trap, and my stake, and then I'll come back and do the construction of the set. Now that we got our bag full of the rocks, got our wire all set up, got our trap and our Berkshire disposable stake in the ground for our upper anchor, I'm gonna just throw this bag here out into the deep water. Whoa. All right. Now we got our drowning bag. Got our drowning bag out there. And what I've done here, if you can see, is I've cut a little eddy out. I've cut a little eddy out, and I'm gonna take my bait sticks, and I'm gonna put these sticks in here. I'm gonna chew them up a little bit with my hatchet, but I'm gonna have these sticks in here just like that, with the bottoms, you know, chewed up a little bit to have a little cast off on the white. And what that's gonna do is just give me eye appeal for this beaver. So if any beaver come up out of this bigger river, up into this smaller tributary, they're gonna see these white sticks, come over to investigate, maybe think that it's a free meal, have a little smorgasbord here with their trees. But that's how we're gonna just make this set. It's very simple. The bag, like I said, the wire, the trap, the stake for the upper anchor, and our bait, and that's all it's gonna be. There's gonna be no lure, no big eye appeal like where they're out on the bank or whatever. But we're just gonna use these trees as our only lure, which is not really lure, it's just more or less eye appeal. So I'm just gonna shade these trees up a little. You can see how white that gets them, makes them look like a fresh chewed stick from a beaver. Get that one. There's another one. Doesn't take much. You don't have to be perfect. Just get that bark off. Get it whitened up so they'll be able to see it if they come up in here. Here's a little bigger one. Another thing I'd like to say with this, don't use too small a stick. It doesn't matter, you know, you don't have to use a 5-inch tree or whatever, but a nice stick, maybe quarter size, you know, nickel to quarter size, that's plenty big enough. Because that's the kind of sticks they're gonna eat anyway. You see where they chew on bigger trees and stuff, but if they have the opportunity, they're gonna cake them smaller sticks. They're easier to chew off, get them down, and they're easier to scrape the bark off of those trees. So you wanna have something that not only is inviting to the beaver taste-wise, but you wanna have something that's easy for him also. I'm just gonna take these sticks, put them one by one right into this corner, or this little eddy I cut out. Now there's still a lot of good fresh bait on there that those beavers can chew on, and they'll be able to tell that too. Maybe put a couple to where you don't have to have all the white facing straight out either. You may turn this one where the white's facing up the stream, so it may catch out of the corner of his eye, or this one over here turn this way if he's coming up this way and catch it out of the corner of his eye. But once those sticks are in there, I like to, you see how they're a little flimsy? The sticks are a little flimsy, so what I like to do, cut that piece of wire off, I'll take my wire and I'll wrap it around these trees nice and loose. They don't have to be tight. But what that does now is give me some stability to keep those in there. Now they're all gonna stay in that one group right there. That's just a little thing that you can do, and that'll keep them in place. And if there's any beaver coming up through this little waterway here, they're gonna see that and come over. Now just trap placement. I'm just gonna place my trap here. As I've probably said many times before, I like to set for a front foot. So I'm gonna get my trap right up there about as close as I can to that. Get that good set for the front foot to where he's gonna come up. Right there, come up and take a peek, get him in a front foot. If I do happen to catch him in a back foot, I do have the drowning bag deep enough in the water to where I know he won't be able to get some air. And that's one big thing you have to always remember. Make sure that drowning bag is deep enough. You don't want to come and have a live beaver, because more often than not, if you have a live beaver, they're not going to be here. They're going to twist off. That set right there is pretty much done now. It's very simple setup, very quick to put in. You can put these sets in less than 5 minutes. And this set's going to take a beaver for us. I know, there's no doubt in my mind that if one comes up by here, he's going to come check this bait out. We got a good eye appeal, we got good sticks, and I'm pretty excited. Hopefully we'll have one here tomorrow to show you. All right, what we have here, it was a little hard to film with this back in here, so you have to take my word for it. This right here is a log that the beavers are coming in under to work up in this feed pile here. There's a lot of older white sticks that are chewed. Here's another white stick, but there's a bunch of white sticks up under there, and that hole goes up in under that bag. So I know that those beavers are using this from periods of time, and what I think it is a high water hole. It's supposed to warm up here in the next week, so I think this set may be good for us because there's a lot of snow on the ground, the water levels are going to rise, and those beaver are going to come back up in under here, and I know they're going to go under this log, and we got this Connie right here. What we did, took a 330, you can see our stabilizers right here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. The two end ones are through the outside hole, and these two middle ones are through the middle jaws to give us some more stabilization. You can use a Connie stabilizer, one of the ones you jam in the ground or whatever, but we use the sticks. It's very simple. I like doing that way, picking off the land and doing that. But it's a very simple set to make. I know the beavers are going to use this, and over time this set's going to take some beaver, especially when the water levels rise. That's one thing that you can do while you're on your trap lines. You pay attention to the signs that the animals are giving you. These beavers, this sign right here just tells me that this is a high water hole. This isn't a den. It's really not even a feed area at this point in time since we have a little lower waters. But this is a high water hole. And I know, I keep that in the back of my mind, make a note of it in my notebook, that when there's going to be high water, I need to get over to where this creek is, and I need to set this hole, because any beaver that's been through this area knows this hole's here, and they're going to come back to this hole when the water comes up to give them some shelter. That's one thing you can always do, whether it be mink trapping, muskrats, coon, fox, coyote, beaver. Pay attention to the signs that the animals are giving you, and if you really take notice, they're going to give you a lot of sign. And this is just one of those instances that I'm using the sign that they give me and remember it in the back of my mind and coming over and making this set, and hopefully when the water comes up, those beaver haven't been caught somewhere else, because I know they're going to come back to this situation or this location when it comes that time. Well, our guide sticks are gone. Yep, there he is. Oh, that's a nice one. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy, that's a big beaver. That is a big beaver. You can only fit his head in there. You got both paws in there, too. Boy, that's a monster. Oh. Well, we made this set yesterday. We had some sign down on the big creek. This is a smaller tributary running into Susquehanna River. This feed hole up under here where I thought it wasn't, I was expecting it to be a high water hole where they were going to come up in here when the water came up in the river. They would come up in here for shelter, but obviously they were using this hole a lot more than I had anticipated. And we got ourselves a nice beaver here. That is a big beaver. Boy, that's a monster. Oh, that's a big beaver. Anyway, as I was saying yesterday, watch for your sign. Beavers and any animals in general, but beavers will give you a lot of sign. A lot of white sticks. You know, this feed hole here goes up under there. This isn't a den. This beaver was going in the hole. They're just using this to come in for a little shelter and feeding on. But as you can see, these sets are deadly. When you find these situations, don't pass them up. I'll be surprised if we don't catch one or two more here. Seeing that the first night we caught one, they may be using this more. And every beaver that comes through here knows this hole's here. So, I'm excited. That's a big beaver. I don't like skinning these things, but I ain't gonna mind skinning this one tonight. That's a blanket right there. That is a big beaver. Well, the bait set worked. We made this set 4 days ago. Only bait. Didn't catch a beaver and 2 set mounds down here. And I was thinking, there's the beaver's still around here. So I wanted to put this bait set in, and it connected on the 4th day. So, I'm excited. No lure, no smell whatsoever, just basically on sight appeal. And we got this beaver at the bottom of the bag. Let's take a look at him. That's a big beaver. That is a nice beaver right there. Front foot catch. I always set for the front feet. Sometimes you do get them in the back feet, but these traps are strong enough to hold them. He's got his whole front foot in it. Number 3 Duke doing the job again. Boy, that is a nice beaver right there. That's got to weigh 50 pounds. Good 50-pound beaver right there. That'll be a nice blanket for us. Getting back to the set. As I showed you on the tape, this is a very easy constructed set. Bag wire trap, upper anchor with a Berkshire stake, and all I did was shave off these little saplings here, give it a little eye appeal, and that beaver worked right in here. So you don't always need lure, and you don't always need to have the set out there that you think is, can be smelled from a mile away, because a lot of times, even though beaver don't see that well, they will see that white sticks. And another thing they will do, they will smell that bark. And I don't know, I'm excited. That's a big beaver right there.
North American Trapper Predation Packages. Get any one of our specific trapping packages that has been ultimately designed to help you become the master predation controller of your farm, ranch, or hunting lease. Control the predators that are costing you time and money, and get out there trapping today with one of our North American Trapper Predation boxes. All of the packages come with the trapping essentials to get you out in the field, plus an instructional DVD that will show you the way. Visit us at NorthAmericanTrapper.com and start breaking dirt today.